Well,
Hi guys, Herb Stratford, KMSB KOLD, Tucson, Arizona.
hey,
Let me just start out by saying I have always been so fascinated by sort of your beginning opening every season with that alternate, sort of the montage of all of the alternate universe that you set this series in. Do you guys spend a lot of time thinking about that and figuring out this is the path we're going to go, or what if this was different than that, or does it just sort of come out easy?
I wish it came out easy. No, we do. We spend probably too much time on that, I would say, because there's the rest of the show you have to worry about as well. But it's become one of these things where, the first season we did it just to kind of explain, okay, history's changing. And now it's become kind of a fan favorite element. So we've built almost a documentary type crew putting that together as we're doing the rest of the show. And originally those are like 20-minute long sequences that are cut down by, legal and lawyers. The ideas we have are outrageous. So we try to hold a balance there of like what would change because of our own history, and then what Matt and I really want to change in in pop culture, and just keep John Lennon alive is really our goal.
No, well, and that makes sense because it sort of sets the table in a way that I don't think anybody else does, and I think it's really brilliant. So my hat is off to you. This season, you're definitely passing the torch. Obviously with Joel passing on, that's sort of exciting to sort of have this. You built all this great stuff with the previous four seasons, and then have this opportunity. And I know that the sixth season was announced publicly today, so I think everybody's excited to see what's that last time jump going to be and what's going to happen. But you've said that you guys have sort of mapped it out, right? You know where this is going?
Absolutely. I mean, obviously things can change between then and now, but overall, I think we've been proud of how closely we've stuck to that initial roadmap that we laid out, and our goal was always to kind of make it from that original point that the Soviets landed on the moon and things changed to the present, and seeing the arc of that story from that historical moment to now when you're watching that last season and it's taking place in the same time frame that you're watching it in, and you're looking around at the world around you and the world on the television in front of you and thinking like, wow, so much could be different if we had just had different priorities, or we had been, more open to things or pushed further on things. And so that's really the unique power of this show, is that reminder of things could be better and different if we only made different choices.
And I'm sensing too that, the focus of the show, I mean, obviously there's the grand sort of themes like the asteroid and all this stuff, but I'm also sensing that you're spending a little more time dialing down into sort of the smaller, more personal stories. And I think that gives us a chance as an audience because we're further out, I guess. I mean, I loved all, the Ed and the Gordo and all that stuff because I grew up with astronaut stuff going on. So I wanted to see that. But now it really is more about what comes after all the hero building, what comes after all that stuff, and how does a society thrive in this really unique bubble? Is that something that's one of your guiding principles, just to sort of think about it's not just all huge things that happen?
It is. In fact, the reality is the more space exploration becomes normalized, the more it wouldn't just be explorers and adventurers going to space. So we realized pretty quickly, I mean, season three in particular, like, oh, our characters would no longer be just the astronauts and the pilots from the 60s, It'd be laborers. It'd be people coming who need opportunity. It'd be their children growing up. It'd be people like Alex who has an easier time living on Mars than on Earth. So I think it came from a place of storytelling and really what the story told us these characters should be. But yeah, part of that, and I think part of any good TV show is that character work. What you're feeling is making these characters feel real. And for us, this season in particular, since Mars is a home, we wanted to feel, especially in the first few episodes, like, oh wow, this is what a society would look like if they were on Mars. You see police officers giving tickets, you see murder, crime, you see these kinds of elements that would happen in our normal world, but it's on Mars. And I think that was the point, to really ground it in a different kind of reality.
Well, and I think in talking to Sean earlier, it's like his character has so much weight because he's Joel's grandson, and that family name carries so much weight that for him, he's got so many struggles, and it's sort of like he's being torn in so many different directions in a way that I think you've done a great job of sort of passing that along through generations.
Yeah.
And I think, that's something that's going to be interesting. I don't know if we're allowed to talk about Star City, but I just want to mention that I'm super excited about that because I loved all of those characters and I loved sort of getting a glimpse of what it might have been like for them. And so I'm happy to see that do you guys have that mapped out for multiple seasons?
We do have a concept of how it would go multiple seasons, although I think interestingly, we probably wouldn't do a similar construct as For All Mankind of jumping decades. Our vision of that show is a much more immediate kind of 1970s behind the Iron Curtain spy thriller in tone. And so honestly, it's been such a fun, different creative endeavor to get to explore it. Yes, it's a spin-off of For All Mankind, but it's such a completely different show in its tone and in its feeling that just the visceral nature of it. It's been I'm excited for everybody to see it.
And I have to say, obviously, with the big weekend with Project Hail Mary, it seems like we're almost in a golden age of smart science fiction, and that's got to be really rewarding for you guys to be like, you know what, we're a part of that. We're part of the leading thing. Because I mean, when the show debuted in 19 on Apple TV, everyone was like, "Holy moly, what's this?" And I sort of feel like you were on the leading edge of that, and now the rest of the world is catching up to smart science fiction. So my hat again is off to you for that. Do you feel sort of like a responsibility to continue that smart science fiction television that's going on?
I appreciate you saying that. I think, it's true. When we started the show, I feel like most science fiction around was dystopian. It was about how the future's awful and you should be scared of it. So I really love what's happening to sci-fi now, and I love that we're a part of that. A more optimistic future. The idea of not being afraid of our future, I think is something people want right now. I think that's part of the success of Project Hail Mary, and part of the success of our show is that we're presenting a different view. Not that's just utopian. I mean, there's progress, there's pushback. But yeah, I agree. I think Andy Weir is similar mindset in terms of, for us, it's smart, it's optimistic, but it's based on science, it's based on reality. So when people are watching it, they can feel what it would really be to feel like to live on Mars.
Yeah, no, I think you guys have captured it in such a beautiful way. And I know we're running out of time. So I just want to say congratulations, not only on this season, but on the whole run of the show. I can't wait until we get to see Star City and season 6. So look forward to talking to you again in the future.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
All right, great to meet you.
You
You
too.
too.
Bye.